Hello, BookTube. I've got a little mail for you today on a cool, overcast day. Boy, oh boy, this week. It's been autumnal. There's the baby. There's the baby behind me. She just likes to look at you, that's all. It's been cool. Almost cold at night. It's going to change. Temperature's going to go back up, but yeesh. And not a hint of sunlight either, which is causing both of us to flag because we both like the feel of the sun on our faces. But anyway, I've got some mail, including a heavy box, so we'll see what we have. It can't be more Balzac. So we have two periodicals to start with, two that I'm very happy with. I fell out with the New Yorker. This is the cover of the New Yorker that shows Donald Trump sliding down the slide of Air Force One on a torrent of money. And it's a reference to his tour of the Middle East, where he's been raking in private deals, huge amounts of money, just the most openly corrupt president in the history of the country, perhaps in the history of the world. I haven't read this issue yet, but I'm having a blast with the New Yorker this year, and it's their 100th year. So it's fine by me. I will take the covers as I get them. I was spooked off the New Yorker by a cover showing the faces of all of the Supreme Court, and they were all Trump. But I came back, and I'm glad that I did. The issues are a joy. I really wish a while ago, it might have been for the 75th anniversary of the New Yorker, they had a wonderful 2-page spread of a cartoon of the city of New York with little lines to info boxes telling you what's going on in each of those buildings. Such as so-and-so is writing a what will be an immortal Broadway show. So-and-so is acting in such and such a movie that is also immortal. And a little light in a little building that Harold Ross is making the first issue of the New Yorker. And I have that cartoon, but I really wish it would be reprinted by the New Yorker. But I have this. I will almost certainly write about it for Steve Reads, for my new newly revived, not newly anymore, I guess it's a year old now, Steve Reads over on Substack. I tend to write about the magazines that I read. And the other thing that I got, the other periodical, is the TLS, which is great. I haven't even glanced at this, so I don't have any idea what's in these. But those are the two periodicals, and then we have some packages. So let's see. This first one is, I think, from Europa Editions, but it is tiny. It's wafer thin. So I can't imagine what this... I mean, they print all sorts of things, so this will be one of their books, but it's awful small, whatever it is. Let's see here. Oh, second time's a charm indeed, yes. Yes, okay. Oh no, you gotta get this off here. Oh god, it's a rolled up piece of Scotch tape. You leave that unattended, you're always gonna regret it. Yes, this is second time's a charm, because this was sent to me, I guess, and I never got it. It's a slim little thing, isn't it? This is by David Grieg. This comes out in September, and this is the Book of I. If I remember correctly, this has a really good premise to it. Oh, right, we've gone over this before, I think. It takes place in Scotland in the year AD 825. In the aftermath of a vicious attack by raiders from the north, an unlikely trio finds themselves the lone survivors on the remote island of Iona. Left alive are young brother Martin, the only resident of a local monastery to escape martyrdom, Una, a beekeeper and mead maker who has been relieved of her violent husband during the slaughter, and Grimur, an aging Norseman who claws his way out of the hasty grave his fellow raiders buried him in, thinking him dead. And the three of them, as different as could be, come together in this book, which I will read. I will read it closer to September. This is probably an instance where it'll be getting the finished copy that actually prompts me to read the book. Then there's a priority mail envelope here that might be from one of you. I don't know. We'll just take the mail as it comes. We'll just see what the next one is here. Oh, no, this isn't from one of you. This is a book. Okay, this is by Jessica Mann, and it is called Uplift. Oh, a very pretty thing. Jessica Mann is a writer, a master naturalist living in Teton Valley, Idaho, and this is her third novel. What is a master naturalist? I don't know what that is. What have we got here, though? When her high mountain wilderness is threatened by humans, a rebellious young bird must teach others how to work together to save their common home. Is this told from the point of view of a bird? How interesting. Uh, Born in a spruce tree to a proud clan of Clark's nutcrackers, Columbina and her brothers spend long winter nights in the nest listening to the elders recite the old tales, while in summer they collect rich seeds of the ancient pines that they depend on for survival. But Columbina, with her sharp intellect and deep curiosity, begins to question the old ways and traditions of the clan. She befriends others, birds and animals not of her own kind, and learns of the Tall Ones, fearsome creatures from the Southland who bring death and destruction. And while her family remains in denial, Columbina realizes the growing peril. How much is she willing to risk for others? And can she lead them against the dangers threatening their common home? Oh, how interesting. Okay. Oh, this even has illustrations, too. What a lovely thing. What a lovely thing. Okay, well, I don't have any information for this, so I don't. It might be out already for all I know. But it goes on the pile for tonight, that's for sure. Usually with stuff like this, with anthropomorphizing animals, I just have to grin and bear it. I just have to grin and bear it because human anthropomorphizing of animals, of non-human animals, is always so bad. I mean, I get it the worst with dogs. And the reason it's the worst with dogs for me is because I know what they actually are saying. I know what they actually are thinking. I know what they're actually like. And so that makes the anthropomorphizing worse. But I imagine it's the same with nutcrackers. But anyway, that's fun. That sounds like fun. That goes on the pile for tonight. And then we have this great big box, which is taped in a way that makes me think that this is also, I say also, but I don't think Uplift is from one of you. I think maybe the author sent it to me. But this one is packed in such a way as to make me think that one of you sent this. I can't really rail against that since I got a great gift in the mail yesterday. I got a Naturalist Buys an Old Farm yesterday. Let's see if we can get this open without cutting any limbs off. That would be nice. Okay. Yes. All right. All right, I've got tape. This piece of tape just won't go quietly. You get little pieces of tape on the tips of your fingertips, and I can't ignore that because I can't feel it. So I'm going to forget about it, and I'm going to start typing, and all the typing is going to come out wrong. So what have we got here? Ooh. Do I have an address on this? Am I actually... yes. Okay. All right. This isn't from just anybody. This is from the author Janet Wertman. Okay. Wonderful. Janet Wertman is on BookTube, and she is also the author. She's author of a trilogy of Tudor-era historical novels about the Seymour family, who were right there all along for a lot of tumultuous Tudor history, actually writing a lot of it, living a lot of it. And that trilogy was wonderful. And she has a new book about a young Elizabeth, about Princess Elizabeth. So I think I asked her for one book out of her library sale, but I think I got more. Yeah, I got Mary Balow, Only a Kiss. These are wonderful. This is, if I remember correctly, this is, The Survivors Club. A bunch of people that get together, survivors of one way or another, some of them badly scarred, one of them badly scarred, from the Napoleonic Wars or bad lives, bad marriages, and we get a book for each of them. I think the series is wonderful, so I'm glad to have it. Then we have, she found a Penguin Classic of Portrait of a Lady by Henry James. I don't actually have this as a Penguin Classic. Nice, big, wonderful thing. So I got this. And then there's the thing that I asked her to give me, which is this thing, which I've had a million times. But the minute I saw it in a photo that she sent me, I realized I don't have a copy at the moment. This is Philip Seeger's masterpiece, his biography of the traitorous King Edward VIII, who was a very popular Prince of Wales until he took the throne. He, of course, became king when his father died of lung cancer from a lifetime of smoking. And before he died of lung cancer from a lifetime of smoking, he briefly became King Edward VIII. But he was never crowned because he abdicated in order to marry the woman I love. And subsequent reporting tells you what anybody would have known at the beginning, which is that was a decision he regretted for the rest of his life, and he wasn't particularly graceful in his regret, and may have helped the Nazis, or wanted to. But Ziegler is a great biographer. I've never read a book by him, including a book of his that isn't a biography. His book about the Black Death is great. It's the single best book on the Black Death that I've ever read. He's a great biographer. He tends to pick subjects who are not worthy. He tends to pick unworthy subjects, whether it's King William IV or Lord Mountbatten or Edward VIII. He tends to pick these unworthy men and never actually loses sight of the fact in the whole of the biography that they are unworthy. But he still gives them not really their due, but a beautiful book. He puts a beautiful book at their feet. And this is a great Royals biography, so I was very happy to have it. But there's something else in this box. Yes, there is. This is the book that I was telling you about. This is Nothing Proved. Look at that cover, huh? Those of you who know the details of your Elizabeth biography will know exactly what this cover is meant to evoke. The moment, if you don't get it from the title, the moment when she's a prisoner and cannot help but speak for herself. This is book 1 of the Regina series. And I think you should all go and get a copy of this. You Tudor history fans, you should go and get a copy of this. Go on Amazon and buy a copy. And if you've read it and liked it, leave a review on Amazon. This is our very own. This is a booktuber. This is Janet Wertman. So what have we got here? Elizabeth Tudor learned resilience young. Declared illegitimate after the execution of her mother, Anne Boleyn, she bore her precarious position with unshakable grace. But upon the death of her father, King Henry VIII, the vulnerable 14-year-old must learn to navigate a world of shifting loyalties, power plays, and betrayals. And it was as dangerous gets in the wake of Henry's death. As dangerous as it gets. Henry's successor was a boy, and not a particularly nice boy either, and his successor was Elizabeth's half-sister, Mary, who was also not nice. At any moment, Elizabeth could have been sent to the block at any moment for real or imagined conspiracies against the crown, including, and here Janet and I might disagree, a conspiracy against Mary in which she was indisputably guilty. Just talk about escaping by a whisker. Let's see. After narrow escaping entanglement in Thomas Seymour's treason, Elizabeth rebuilds her reputation as the perfect Protestant princess, which puts her in mortal danger when her half-sister Mary becomes queen and imposes Catholicism on a reluctant land. Elizabeth escapes execution, clawing her way from a tower cell to exoneration. But even a semblance of favor comes with attempts to exclude her from the throne or steal her rights to it through a forced marriage. She is as inconvenient as an inconvenient extra prince is, or ever could be. And she survived it, and went on to become, arguably, the greatest monarch in the history of the country. I would argue that she is only exceeded by the only other Elizabeth. Elizabeth must outwit her enemies and time again to prove herself worthy of power. The making of one of history's most iconic monarchs is a gripping tale of survival, fortune, and triumph. And I have had the honor to read this, but now that I have a physical copy, I'm going to read it again. So this goes on the pile for tonight. Fantastic. I'm very happy to have a print copy of this. Did the author have the presence of mind to sign it? No, she did not. Well, what are you going to do, authors? Anyway, that is the mail. Steve could not be happier. We have, finally, I have a copy of Ziegler's Edward VIII, and I will just hold on to this. I give this away whenever anybody wants really engaging Royals biography. Obviously, you can tell from the length of this thing that it's not just the king. It's the whole of the 20th century. And World War II. And it's wonderfully done. With Nothing Proved. How fantastic, by Janet Wertman. Go ye to Amazon and get a copy of this book. We have a lovely old Penguin classic of Portrait of a Lady. We have Uplift, a novel told from the point of view of a bird. We have The Book of I, an unlikely trio stranded on an island. And Mary Baylow, Only a Kiss, which is the Mary Baylow romances are so wonderful. So there you go. That is the mail for a grim, cold day. This is a grim, cold Wednesday. I'm smiling because it's a little inconvenient to feel the crimp of it in your knees or your ankles when you're getting up in the morning. But I'm smiling because it is temporary. It is not going to last, and the opposite is going to be so much worse. But anyway, there's some mail for you. I'll wrap this up for now, but I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.